Welcome to Elevate. My name is Angie Chang, founder of Girl Geek X, and with us today we have Ashleigh Lee, who is a cybersecurity product marketer, most recently collaborating with customer success, product sales, and marketing to weave the voice of the customer and story through content. And now, welcome, Ashleigh.
Thank you, Angie. Hi, everyone. I wanted to let you know that I joined cybersecurity, the world of cybersecurity, in 2016 as a marketer at NowSecure. NowSecure is known for mobile app security testing. 3 months into this job, I found myself as the only female working our booth at a large conference called Black Hat. Black Hat is the more corporate security conference at Hacker Summer Camp. And that's the 1 week in August where a bunch of security nerds descend onto Las Vegas. We're in the final stretch of the booth duty, and this man comes up to me with a booth staff pass. He asked me for a demo. We're going to call him Sam. Sam's badge read that he was from FireEye, a large public cybersecurity company at the time. And halfway through the conversation, something just felt off. It's not unusual for vendors to visit each other at a conference like this, but normally it's pretty clear what they want. For example, a guy from White Hat Security came by the booth, got a demo, and then asked if he wanted to partner with them. Clear and to the point. But Sam didn't do this. This man proceeded to interrupt my demo, ask a lot of questions about the details of the report that we were showing, and then he roasted my answers. Now, keep in mind, I'm new. I know I'm new. I'm new to this job, new to this company, new to security, and he's clearly not new, considering he's arguing about my word choices. So maybe he'd want to talk to a teammate who's also not new. But did Sam want to talk to him? No. Sam didn't want to talk to him because he didn't want to talk to a man. What a jerk. After this guy finally left the booth, I decided to look him up because why not? I'm mad, I'm in cybersecurity, and some might say that this is an exercise in OSINT skills. Now, OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. If basically that means you are looking up and collecting data, analyzing data from free tools and free resources. If you want to learn about OSINT, I have a couple of links in the resources tab on the session. One is from SANS. They are a reputable institute that is known for cybersecurity training, certifications, degree programs, and more. And the second link on OSINT is basically a framework of the different free tools and free resources that are out there. One of those free resources is social networks. So, back to Sam. You see, when you pick up your badge for a cybersecurity conference, you normally have to verify it's you with a government-issued ID. So, I knew this guy's name was legit. Company, title, could be anyone's game. Well, in a matter of minutes, I found his LinkedIn and his Facebook. And it turns out this guy didn't even work at FireEye. For the last 3 months, he'd been working as a pen tester at Booz Allen Hamilton, which is a security consulting firm, mostly for government contracts. Now, I'm never going to know his intentions. Maybe he just liked delighting in the fact that I was squirming and uncomfortable. Or maybe he was verifying that I wasn't a booth babe because booth babes were banned only 2 years prior. Some of it is I'm not going to know his intentions, but I tell you the story for 2 reasons. One, there are jerks in the industry, as there are in every industry. Maybe you've come across jerks like this before. Don't let the jerks squash your curiosity. There are so many people in cybersecurity who are openly curious, supportive, and want to help you with your knowledge in cyber and with literally anything. And secondly, there's a lot to learn. So don't let your fear of feeling stupid, which I definitely felt in that moment, don't let that stop you from pursuing what you want to learn. You may have heard of a saying, curiosity killed the cat. Usually this is used to warn against unnecessary investigation or questioning. Sometimes it's used to hold you back from finding out what you want to learn. But did you know that there's a variation from 1905? And it goes like this. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Folks, that variation sounds like there's definitely a payoff when you chase what you want to learn. And that information. Back to one of the other truth bombs that I just dropped. The fact that booth babes weren't banned until 2014. Newsflash, cybersecurity is young as an industry. You see, the art of sales, it's been around forever. Evidence of the ads promoting goods, which is what most people associate with marketing, that dates back to 35 BC. Managing money has probably been around as long as currency has been around. And computer science even has been around since the 1830s, making that field over 200 years old. By contrast, information security started in the 1970s with the first malware that was used for a security test. That makes the industry only 50 years old. With cybersecurity so young, there is always something new to learn, new problems to solve, and new questions to ponder. Which, by the way, if you have questions that pop up during this session, definitely feel free to drop them into the Q&A tab. We'll have some time at the end for questions. The way that I see it, there are two ways to get into cybersecurity, or two paths, through the practitioner route and as a vendor. Practitioner basically means you are living the day-to-day. You are in the weeds, you are implementing security technology, you're writing policies, you're building out processes, you're enforcing policies. A lot of that is really great work. You're protecting the organization. The other side of the house is in the vendor world. Vendors typically provide products or services that solve or attempt to solve cybersecurity challenges. Normally, these two interact quite frequently. In the world of cybersecurity, there are essentially 11 domains, which can be broken out into a lot of different subdomains. And so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here. I actually have a link to an article that digs into a lot of these subdomains, and it's in the resources tab as well. But in summary, the 11 domains are frameworks and standards, application security, security architecture, risk assessments, risk management, governance, threat intelligence, security operations, physical security, career development, and user education. The vendor map more or less maps to this. There are some variations in the categories, but this is a technology map from Optiv, who is a really well-known security technology reseller. While this might not be all-inclusive, if you're thinking about taking your current skill set and maybe working for a cybersecurity company so you can kind of get your foot in the door, this is a good list to kind of start with. That link is also in the resources tab. So as you can see, there's a lot of different categories, a lot of different problems to solve. So the question that I ask you today is, what do you want to explore? This whole talk is about chasing your curiosity. Well, when I first started at NowSecure, obviously as a marketer, my goal was to create demand for the products and services that NowSecure sold. But in order to create demand, I needed to understand who our customers were. Yeah, I was attracted to the mission, right, of securing mobile apps. Everybody has a smartphone these days. App Store has gone crazy with how many apps there are out there. But I really needed to understand who these people are. What do they do on a day-to-day basis? What are their goals, right? How do they get promoted? What are the things that they do in their free time? Do they even have free time, or are they working crazy hours because cybersecurity practitioners are inevitably working a lot of hours? As I got to know these people, I quickly learned that our security analysts did not match the stereotype for cybersecurity. I'm talking about the hacker, the person in a hoodie, in a dark, dank basement, probably using their skills for questionable activities. Something like Mr. Robot here. No, the reality that I saw and the people that I met, they're just regular everyday people. They're super smart, super technical, but they're just tasked and they're just doing their job to protect the organization. In fact, when I took a web app penetration testing course in 2019, my instructors didn't fit the stereotype, and I am here for it. So, learning number one, don't trust the stereotypes. And I know this sounds super obvious, but I'm here to tell you that security is more than just hackers and hoodies. People in security span such a wide spectrum of colorful personalities and an equally wide spectrum of hobbies, passions, backgrounds. Talk to some folks, you'll probably find something in common with them. So, as I was getting to know these people, I also needed to understand, as a marketer, how are they actually using our products and services? Logical next step, right? Well, this was the cycle that I learned. Our penetration testing team would scope out a project with a client. Then they'd spend several days testing that app, seeing if there's any weaknesses. Then they'd spend many more days compiling the report. And I'm just going to let you know, you'd probably spend more time creating the report than testing if you ever wanted to get in pen testing. But essentially, these folks would spend a few weeks testing and creating the report. Then they'd have a meeting with the client, go over these findings, go over recommended courses of action. And then a few weeks later, we'd get another app binary to test. We'd retest it, and what would they find? All of the same findings. Can you believe it? Like, I don't understand what is the point of spending so much time finding these weaknesses if companies weren't going to do anything about it. And maybe you're thinking, oh, these findings probably weren't important. I'm talking about sensitive information that could be intercepted. Payment information, PII, which stands for personal identifiable information. Think about the mobile apps that you have on your phone. How many of them have credit card information or health information or banking information? Like, wouldn't you want to make sure that that couldn't get siphoned off of your mobile app? This leads me to learning number two. Technology doesn't fix everything. Our products and services found security gaps, but nothing was really getting better because the people who were responsible for fixing the problems were separate from the actual security team who was finding those problems. So this led me to my next step in curiosity. Why weren't these issues getting fixed? Was it because the impact of compromise wasn't communicated clearly? Was it because mobile just wasn't important? Or was it something entirely different? So I took these questions to JupyterOne. JupyterOne connects across your security tools and your infrastructure to be able to show your assets and areas of exposure in one place. The customers of JupyterOne wanted to get above the noise, get above the alerts, and see the forest for the trees. So they were actually a really great group of people for me to dig into how does security work actually get done. It turns out the cycle that I found at NowSecure also comes up in network security, device security, cloud security, a lot of different domains. And so when I started the podcast and co-hosting a podcast called Cyber Therapy, I actually got to talk to a lot of different leaders within cybersecurity. I got to understand their background, their likes and dislikes, And often I would ask them, how are you able to actually drive change at your organization? Because it boggled my mind that there were so many issues found, but the progress to actually chipping away at making those weaknesses go away was really slow. The common thread that I found across all of these leaders: technical skills only get you so far. Many of these folks had backgrounds in coding, in breaking apart computers, fooling around with their school internet. They were technical in nature. And the hardest part that they found in driving change and preventing breaches is working with people, because people put things into motion. They make changes. People set up automation for established processes. In short, progress happens through people. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. You're probably thinking to yourself now, well, great, Ashleigh, there's a lot of different things that I can explore. Thank you for that. But how do I actually explore this? And so to that end, I'm going to give you 3 recommendations, and then we'll get to some questions. Number 1, informational interviews. Basically, talk to people. Go find people in your organization who have a security title, or people who are doing security-like tasks. Sometimes it's an IT person who's doing security tasks. Go talk to them. Ask them about their day-to-day. Ask them about their biggest challenges. Ask them about their wins. Your goal here is to get an idea of what their life is like and what their job is like, right? If you want a job like theirs, probably astute to go and ask them about it. But also, don't forget to ask them, hey, what resources helped you learn in your role? And what resources keep your education up to date? That'll give you some tidbits to go and pursue. Number 2, check out some job descriptions that you might be interested in. Catalog your skills and analyze the skills and responsibilities in there. See what is transferable and what your gaps are. Meaning, what are things that you already know that you can speak to? And then what are the areas that you want to grow your knowledge in? This not only helps you prepare to pitch yourself when opportunity strikes, but it also gives you an idea of what to search for on how to increase your knowledge in certain areas. And last but not least, collaborate on some short-term projects with other security practitioners. The fact that you already know your transferable skills, what you bring to the table, as well as your areas of knowledge and what you want to grow in, there's got to be a way to find a win-win situation where you can collaborate and meet security teams' needs, right? So with that, I am going to open it up for questions. I think we've got 2 minutes, roughly. Let's see. All right, Valerie, thank you for joining. She asks, what would you say are the biggest challenges faced by non-technical people hoping to enter the cybersecurity industry? Well, I will say from my perspective, my biggest challenge is about the knowledge aspect and getting technical. I'm a marketer by trade, and I hate to say it, but fellow marketers will probably understand. You're usually not expected to be very technical. But as you move into product marketing, there are always people who are willing to help you increase your knowledge. So don't be afraid to ask the stupid questions. Like when I was really uncomfortable, I'd always disclaimer, hey, this might sound like a really dumb question because I'm asking somebody who's been in security for a while, but why does XYZ happen at this point? And more often than not, they're willing to share their knowledge. And then that gives you an area where you can continue to go down that questioning path of, well, I don't understand what that big word meant, or I don't understand why this matters, right? One of the big questions that I had was, why is it so, or why isn't a man in the middle attack, right? Or a person in the middle attack getting fixed? Is it because it's